This month I stuck to my rules and tracked everything. So here's how August went. I had about 78 trades, 55% win rate. At the end, I was up $947, but it could have been way more. So what could I have done better? My copy trading was very inconsistent. I sometimes was just not feeling it. I didn't really have rules to follow for my copy trading. And then my trade grading, I actually gave up on grading many trades because I was really stuck on, is this a C trade, a B trade, or an A trade? And I thought I was just going to call it an A trade, B trade, or C trade discretionarily, but it was harder for me to do it without a strict rule. So my main adjustments for September are going to be setting rules around copy trading, setting rules around my sizing using a grading system that's very easy for me to calculate, if this, then that. I also need to improve my journaling. There's definitely a lot of times I didn't finish journaling all my stats, and I want to be learning from every trade. I'm spending the time waiting for my setups. I want to also be able to learn from each setup in the future to be able to improve. So going into September, I started a new list of my rules, which almost everything's the same. I'm just dialing it in more. So we have A, B, and C setups. I feel like there's nothing, why would I take anything lower than that? And I already started September, and I'm going to guess now that going to October, I might cut out my C setups or even certain trading setups and strategies I have here, because that's what I did going to August. I trimmed it down. I trimmed down which setups I'm going to take, and I might even do that again. So I went ahead and wrote different risk management based on A, B, or C setups. So this is also daily loss limit depending on account size. So the A setup is for the full daily loss limit. So for 25K, that is $150, 50K, $300, and 150K, that's $600. So I need to know how to grade. So right now what I'm going with is how many confluences of my strategies do I have together. So I have my 5 strategies here, which it's really like 4. We have the volume profile, which I'm mostly using the previous day value area levels. I'm allowed to use the current session's value area as well. Initial balance breakout, that's the IBBO. Failed auctions, which is essentially the opposite of initial balance breakout. And previous day high and low, and trend continuation. So the trend continuation is really the same thing as the initial balance breakout, because we're breaking out in the direction. And same thing with the previous day high and low. It could be a reversal at the level, or it could be a trend continuation. So the trend continuation, I'm not really sure how to apply that, but because we're in all-time highs this past week, I realized I need to include a trend continuation scenario where we're trading above those levels. So maybe it's still the previous day high breakout, but maybe we're kind of far away from the level and I want to still get in. So that was where the trend continuation is going to come in handy. The setup is my actual entry that I'm taking when I get in the trade. So we have the RSI divergence, which could be a continuation or a reversal. The BOCC is the breakout, open, and close continuation. So the open and close means the full candle opening and closing outside of the level. So when we break through a level or reject a level, so that could also be a continuation or reversal. I'm mostly using the BOCC with the initial balance breakouts. So that is a continuation. And then that's at least what I first started using, the BOCC, the BOC, the breakout, open, and close continuation. And so that's when we break through a level, and then for the IBB, we break through the initial balance level, and then either to the upside or the downside, the initial balance high or low. And then we get a full candle opening and closing outside the level. That's confirming that we're trading outside of the initial balance. And I'm doing that on the 5-minute chart in my situation. So that's what that setup is. And then the 2-bar reversal, which is, you can look that up. Everyone might have their own way of doing that. But so those are my setups. I found that all of my setups are either a continuation or reversal, so I might as well mark that down too. And we can see here that I have the idea tab. So the ideas is where I'm kind of still just keeping track of things that I might want to implement next month, or just kind of observing different things I'm interested in implementing. So for my risk management, we have 25K, 50K, 150K. I'm mostly trading 50K and 150Ks. However, I do have 2 25K accounts too. So C setup, $50, B setup, $100, A setup, $150. So pretty much I have my max daily loss limit, and then I'm dividing it into thirds. So it's 1/3 for a C setup, 2/3 for a B, and 3 out of 3 entire daily loss limit for the A setup. A setups, I haven't even had one yet this month, so I'm thinking they only come once a month or so. B setups, I think, come every week, and C setups come multiple times a day is what I've been observing here. We had 3 Bs and a whole bunch of Cs so far in September. And so I'm making this video for August, but it is such a relief having rules to follow with my grading and everything. It's been so much much easier, and I'm actually tracking more stats than ever now. So I'm really excited. I did start off a little rough. We had a little bit of a losing streak, but statistically that can happen, you know, so there's always that variance. Next on my list here, we have account management. So I'm breaking up sets of accounts to copy trade during each session. London, I'm doing my XFAs because they have end of day drawdown. I could catch a runner for the whole session. New York session, I'm trading my Apex accounts because that's where I have the most accounts, you know, copy trade up to 20 accounts. And going for that base hit is a little bit easier during New York session, more momentum. And Tokyo, I'm trading my top 1 futures straight to funded accounts. Those are 150K accounts I have. And my thought there is also those are end of day accounts. I could potentially hold a runner overnight into the next day. I have a top 1 futures Sim Pro account. My plan is to try to take every trade with it. I just can't copy trade from the other top 1 futures account, but I can copy trade into it whenever I'm taking another trade. I can also take it on that account is my thought. All trades, 4 to 8 a.m. Eastern Standard. So my top 1 futures Sim Pro, that's all trades. That has a trailing drawdown. Tradeify accounts, I have 2 of them. I've already been using them just for the initial balance trade, so I'm going to stick with that. All initial balance breakouts. So I also have a new account I haven't put on this list or officially announced it yet, but Top 1 Futures is coming out with an Ignite AF account. This Monday, that is tomorrow. By the time this video is out, that account will be out, and that is the cheapest straight to fund it I know about. It is also an end of day drawdown, so I'm really excited about that. Right now, the deal is coming out for $89 straight to fund it. End of day drawdown 25K account and a $150 50K end of day drawdown straight to fund it. So I'm super excited, and you can copy trade up to 6 of those. So I'll go ahead and put that here. So I'm actually really excited about that because I know a lot of people don't like, as they're learning, having the eval, they end up trading it different than the funded. And so here's a cheaper funded option where it encourages you to actually trade it seriously because you can make a withdrawal from it. Max withdrawal is limited. $500 for the 25K, $1,000 for the 50K. I have a feeling that stuff's going to change because this is a trial run with these new account types. So I do have evals as well still. I have a couple top step evals. I have Apex evals to top off my funded accounts, and I have take profit trader evals. I also have Bolinox. So code Luna works for all these accounts, guys. To get the best deal on these accounts, use code Luna at checkout, and that really supports me. Thank you so much for supporting me in the community, because it also goes back in the community when we get giveaways and this type of stuff. I want to keep contributing. So I appreciate you guys liking and subscribing and using code Luna at checkout. So pretty much those are my rules. I have a bunch of different ideas. I can talk about my ideas on stream until I solidify them. No reason to put them in the video. You can see them here though. You can pause the video. And then my pre-flight checklist has grown as well. So on the top of the screen, we can see my pre-flight checklist. The 4 main things I have there is half size or eval for choppy pre-market, plan trade ideas. No trades is a trade. These are reminders to myself. No trade is also a trade. It's okay to not have a trade, and make every trade count. But my new pre-flight checklist I have here, half size or eval for choppy pre-market, plan trade ideas, no trades is a trade, make every trade count, check the previous day journal entries and trade log. So I kind of leave myself breadcrumbs to remember things. High time frame analysis, which is pretty much top-down analysis. No entering trades 5 minutes within the market open or red folder news. A, B, C setups, max risk is 3 out of 3 for the A's, 2/3 B, 1/3 C setup. Don't let a runner get in the way of a scalp, and complete journal entries for each trade. For number 9, don't let a runner get in the way of a scalp. That's something I've written on my desk, on sticky notes, everything, because I want to get those base hits. But if I have the availability to hold a runner, I want to hold a runner. So if I have 10 micros on, it's pretty easy to hold a runner in that situation, for example. So depending on the market conditions as well, if I only have 4 lots on, 3 lots, even 5 lots, I still need to decide if I want to hold a runner or just take the base hit, because it starts to cut into my profits pretty easily. So guys, I've been going for, my rule right now is at least holding for 1 to 2 R, and I'm allowed to move my stop loss to break even at 1 R. However, I'm going for full 2 R, but I'm aiming, if I have my next target, I have a key level within that range of 1 to 2 R. I mean, really even up to 3 R, sorry, 1 to 3 R. I am gonna use that target, that next level. However, as a rule of thumb, 2R is fine just to set it and forget it. And also I'm allowed to move my stop to break even at 1R. So I can cut the loss there. So when I first made my RSI divergence strategy more than a year ago now, I was actually taking profit partial at 1R to lock in, you know, at least 50% or slightly more, lock in at least break even at 1R, and then partial at 2R, and then holding a runner. So I'm kind of modifying that, actually going from 1 to 2R, because statistically my trades go to 3.1R, at least the month before I had back tested that. I forward tested it. This month though, I'm going to be tracking how far my trades go after I close them even. So I call that max R. So we can already see of my winners, we had a 5.5, 4.7, 5.7, 2.4. So if I take the average of that, the month before it was 3.1R. So if I had just targeted 3.1R, set it and forget it, I would have made way more money than trying to manage it and find the best target. That's just the math. So there's no arguing the math, you know, as long as I kept track of it correctly. So that is my plan for September. That's what I extracted from my information from August. I went through and looked at all my trades. You know, I have a pretty even results from my different setups. So what I did was I took a copy of all of August here and went through and divided up by my wins and my losses, and I extracted as much information as I could from it. So you can see right here I have the wins on it. It is complicated though, because a lot of times I had secondary confluences. I'm looking at my New York initial balance breakout, 11 winners and 3 losers. So that was my best setup, 78% win rate. So for all I know, it's going to be beneficial for me to only trade that, which is better than a 50% win rate on the RSI. However, maybe that strategy is still profitable with the 50% win rate, and I can still take them all. I'm going to use the statistics and the information I'm gathering from my journal to continue to fine tune my trade log. I cut out the inside bar setup I was doing before for August, and I can see my results were a little better. So for August, we had a 55% win rate. Let me go back to my August stats here. So for August, we had 40 wins, 32 losses, and a 55% win rate. That in the end only resulted in $947. And I say only because it should have been more if I was sizing consistently on each trade the same. It would have been more. And if I didn't take the trades that weren't in my plan. I had 5 times I took a trade when I just shouldn't. I didn't wait for it to close the candle. I didn't really have my full setup. I was breaking a rule, and I could have just not taken those losses. So if we took those losses out of the picture, that's like $1,000 right there, 300-400 right there. So about 1,400 more P&L I would have had for the month, which for me, if I was making extra $2,500, so that would be total about 25 for the month of August if I had not taken those losses. Even with the inconsistent trade copying and sizing, $2,500 for me extra monthly for my trading is huge. This is a massive success. I'm just going to follow my plan now. I have more conviction now than ever in my strategy. Just let it play out. Even though I started September with a little losing streak here, you know, I'm down right now in September. I don't even really want to look at it because it looks bad. Down $4,000. However, I am following my plan well. Everything's going really good. I did have one mistake I made here, which was a $1,000 loss of a trade I could have just totally not taken. I'm just so excited of the information I'm going to be gathering. I have all this information. How far did the trade go? What was the RSI at? What was the VWAP doing? Was it angled up? Was it angled down? Next month, I'm going to be doing an EMA study. I already know it. I'm going to be studying the certain EMAs, probably the 20 and the 89, for example. And maybe next month I'll cut out one of my strategies. Maybe I won't use the BOCC. I'll only wait for divergences in that situation, or for a reversal, a 2-bar reversal. For the continuations, maybe I'll just go to divs because maybe that's where my win rate is going to be better. I'll find out after this month is over. So that is my plan for September, and that is my August trading results. I want to make it easier to define parameters around trades so that I can continue to refine my strategies for the future. So this is a big investment I'm taking myself. And really, guys, this is something that I'm hoping everyone can benefit from, because now you don't need to do this for these setups. You can see my results. But I do think everyone should be doing this. I can't imagine spending wanting to become a big-time trader and not tracking your results in the beginning. I mean, if you're 80 years old and you're watching your portfolio go up and you're already rich, whatever. If you don't want to journal, don't journal. But I just can't imagine me not doing this right now and thinking I'm going to improve as a trader, as someone who's still learning day trading. You know, I'm a swing trader. I've been trading for more than 9 years now, which is crazy. I would say 8, but I realize it's been 9. Even with my experience and everything, day trading continues to be a very challenging endeavor. So I want to make sure I'm learning from my lessons. So August showed me the power of discipline, and September is about sharpening consistency. If you want to follow along, I'll be posting these reviews every month. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. Support the channel. Use code LUNA at checkout at your favorite prop firm. I'm talking Tradeify, Apex, Take Profit Trader, Top 1 Futures, Phidias, Bolinox. I'm already forgetting something probably. But use code LUNA at checkout. I'm going to try to keep it in all the relevant prop firms so that you can get the best deal and support the channel at the same time. I'm going to try to keep pouring that back into the community with giveaways and by doing things like this and making my trading log available. So join the free Discord in the description, or get on the waiting list for my private Discord, and you can get a copy of my trading log there, or you can even just message me there and I'm happy to to send you my updated information on how my strategies are doing. But of course, join along for the ride, guys. Monday through Friday, I'm going to be trading live. Make sure to like and subscribe and turn on notifications so that you can be notified when I am live and when I have future videos coming out. So stay tuned, weekly reviews. I also have a weekly newsletter going out to get updates on earnings, upcoming news events, and important news in the prop firm space. And if you want to follow along, I'll be posting these reviews every month. Thank you for watching. I will see you soon. Trade safe.